How's it going, everybody? This is Woody coming to you with Priori Sports. That's priorisports.com. Go ahead over to the website. It's completely free for the month of June. But I did want to go ahead and record a brief video here talking a bit about our MLB models on the site. What they mean, what each statistic means, what each rating means, etc., and how best to use them, how I go about using them on a day-to-day basis, just to give a bit of clarity in that area. So we're going to go ahead and start with last night's slate. Obviously, by the time you're watching it, it may not be last night's slate. But we could go ahead and start with the team ratings page here. We'll dive right into it. And just so you guys know, it is not currently sortable on the site. You're going to see me sorting a bunch of things, but all you got to do is hit that download button on the site. It's on the top of the page at mobile, on the bottom of the page on your computer, and you'll be able to download and have a sheet that looks very similar to this that you'll be able to sort and do everything that I'm doing in this regard. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the team ratings page here. As you can see, we have all the teams off to the left side. That's pretty self-explanatory. But then we have our W rating statistic, and what that is that's our that is our proprietary statistic that is weighting future performance. So that is something that we'll not only have for baseball, but a myriad of different sports. So just be ready to use the W rating statistic pretty consistently throughout different sports. I use it all the time. Very confident in that rating, but we will go ahead and get into that a little bit more. As you can see here, the W ratings tab, if you want to go ahead and sort by that, we could sort by that, and it will give us Boston as the highest team on the W rating. And what this is, it is an average of the entire lineup 1 through 9 of their W ratings. So it's not necessarily a team's W rating, it is the average of every single hitter, and there are ways that we could break that down that we'll go into a little bit more in just a minute. The next thing you'll see is the average team projection. That's pretty self-explanatory. That's going to be the average DraftKings projection for each team's lineup. Once again, 1 through 9. You go ahead and sort that. You have Atlanta coming out on the top with Seattle in second, Arizona in third. Go over to the next column here, and we have team rating plus average team projection. And that doesn't mean literally plus, but we are taking a kind of dynamic average of the two versus the field. So if you want to go ahead and sort those in order, you'll have Atlanta, then Boston, then the Dodgers, then the Mets. So that's something that I like to do on this page. Probably my favorite thing to use is the team rating plus average team projection. I like to get a lot of both in there. The W rating is very aggressive, while the while the projections are more so median projections. They'll be more similar to other things you may find throughout the industry. So I like to kind of average the two, and you'll see that throughout this video. The next page I want to jump over to is the stack sizes page. Let me go ahead and clear my search there. And what this is, it's going to give us a top 5 rating, top 4 rating, top 3 rating, and top 2 rating, and then we'll talk about the stack balance rating. So it's pretty simple. It may not seem like it off the top, but the top 5 rating is just the average of the top 5 hitters in that lineup. So I am taking the top 5 W ratings from that lineup, and I am averaging that to get a top 5 rating. We can go ahead and sort by that and see that Boston has the top 5 strongest hitters in their lineup. That is going to be very helpful on DraftKings, where you're probably looking to build 5-man stacks. And we'll talk about stacking and other things in that arena in a different video. For now, I just want to kind of go over the metrics that are currently on the site. So then you could sort by top 4. If you're looking at FanDuel, that's probably what you're going to be using. All the way down to top 3, top 2, if you want to use a 3-man stack or just a 2-man stack, depending on the site that you're on. You can go ahead and sort by those and see the top 2, and then hop on over to the hitter metrics page, which we'll go over in just a moment. The first thing that I look at on every single slate is going to be the stack balance rating. So what this is, it weights the bottom 3 slightly more than the top 2. So obviously there's teams like, let's use the Angels for example, who have a top 2 of Ohtani and Trout on most nights. Obviously, Ward is in there as a third top hitter this season, but they're a good example because they're a pretty top-heavy lineup. So they're going to grade out pretty well on most nights just because you have a couple of the best hitters in baseball in that lineup. But we don't always want to just bank on those top hitters carrying our entire stack. So this kind of takes that into account and allows us to build a more balanced stack. So if you sort by the stack balance ratings for this specific slate, it has Boston at the top, Atlanta number 2, and the Dodgers number 3. So what I like to do after that is I will go ahead and take, let's say, Boston and Atlanta and jump on over to the hitter metrics and just sort with those two teams. Now, oftentimes I will either be using the W rating or the combo rating. So don't forget the combo rating is taking into account both the W rating and the DraftKings projection. Now, if you're playing on FanDuel, you may say, what about me? But don't worry, it does transfer over to FanDuel. That's been mostly what I've been playing. And just because we're using the DraftKings projection, it doesn't really mean much of anything when it comes to that combo rating, just because we're weighing the projection against the field when it comes to that combo rating and then combining it with the W rating, so you don't necessarily have to worry about the exact points being perfect or the exact value of, say, a single or a double being perfect based on the site, just because we are weighing it against the field, like I said. So we can come on over here to combo ratings and sort that. And what that gives us is, if I'm going to go ahead and try and stack Boston and Atlanta on this slate, it's going to give us the top rated hitters in those combo ratings. So you see here JD Martinez at the top, followed by Devers, Acuna, Riley, Swanson, Ozuna, etc., etc., etc. You can obviously go ahead and sort and filter by position as well, or sort by value, which is something that I do quite often. If you're looking to save some salary, let's say you want to go ahead and include a more expensive pitcher in your lineup, one of the first things I'm going to do after getting probably my first 4 guys in the stack is I'm going to sort by value to see where I can kind of save some money, and if I need to drop down at pitcher or drop down some of my stronger hitters in my top stack, or even try and go get a cheaper stack, although I try to avoid that the majority of the time. So we will go ahead and continue going here, jump on over to the pitcher metrics. Let me clear the search that I had in there earlier. And so you see the same thing here with the pitchers, the name on the left side, then the team, and then we have the W rating. The pitchers also have a W rating, and it can get pretty intense at times. Obviously, you see someone like Castellanos going up against the Braves with a negative 176 W rating. The W rating does not like him. Corbin, negative 189. But then you see the guys up here like Urias with 193, Gausman with 150, Javier with 150. These are going to be the guys we want to play. Obviously, we can also come over here to combo, and it's the same concept. The DK projections weighed against the field combined with the W rating, and we could sort there too, and that gives us Gausman and Urias up top with Javier trailing behind in third, and then Montas. So obviously we can go ahead and sort by points per dollar if we want to do that as well, if we're looking for a cheaper pitcher. And that'll give us Gausman up top for DraftKings specifically. And then we could do it by FanDuel if we want to as well. But that is about the gist of how I go about utilizing the sheets. I will get into it in more detail in the next video. I am planning another 2 videos coming up, one with a much more toned down, simple explanation of what I'm talking about in terms of stacks, in terms of spending down at pitcher, all the things that if you may or may not have played DFS seriously before, we may want to get into. I'll also publish another video going over exactly how I build. I will go ahead and build a lineup on a video like this, using these metrics and doing what I do every day for just about every slate in trying to build a lineup that will take something down. So I really appreciate you guys tuning into this, watching, and being a part of the site. Once again, if you have not signed up at the site yet, it's completely free. All you got to do is make an account. It's free through the month of June all the way up to July 1st. The Discord is free and will remain free. So if you just want to kind of come in the Discord, sniff around, see what's going on, maybe ask a question or two, feel free. We have myself as well as the rest of the Priori team in there. So make sure to sign up for the site, priorisports.com. Jump on the Discord, follow us on Twitter at Priori Sports. Once again, really appreciate you guys tuning in, and good luck in your DFS lineups tonight.